is part number 5. Copyright Ronald Stewart, 2011 to 2019, all rights reserved. We left off in part number 4 where we had enlarged the image in the left bottom corner to 400%, as we see here. And there was no image of a second man behind the donkey, as Dr. Petrovich had indicated in his claims and his book. But now more about that as follows. In the book, and also in this video, as in part number 4, the illustration marked in red by me, the author of the book and also this video, is just based on the work and illustrations of Dr. Petrovich and my understanding of what his interpretation and his translation was. We explain that more now here, for example, where it's marked in red right there at the bottom where the point is pointing to what may look like a bird, and the sawtooth image or symbol as we see there at top. We now explain this more also in black and white. But now what will it do at 400% magnification, as Dr. Petrovich claims in the Israeli News Live video? Will it show the man down there at 400%? Okay, we increase that to 400%, and you can see on the top, on the size indicator, press the OK button right there, and boom! There we now have 400%. And this is what it looks like there at 400%. Right there. Okay. But now at 400%, we're going to take a look at the top here. The top image on the left-hand side. And we're going to see right there on the bottom, where there's no indication right there whatsoever of a man, or the outline or demarcations or lines or indentations to show there's a man. We then compare this right there with the bottom part right there where Dr. Petrovich shows this Egyptian man standing. And yet, when we go back up again and compare that with the area right there, over and over again, we can see that there is nothing. Here again, we give Dr. Petrovich the benefit of the doubt. The red arrow on top, and what we see on top, is the part of this photo of Sinai number 115. But when we see that where the red arrow points to, and we see the outline below, the two do not quite look the same. And the one on top looks more like the outline as we see where the red arrow points to in the photo versus the drawing from Dr. Petrovich. So there is one area that does not look exactly the same, and getting the images the wrong shape could interfere with the interpretation and translation as well. Now, the next one that we see here kind of has that outline, and we're drawing around the outside so that you can see the inside and compare the approximate shape that I'm drawing. And then now, when we kind of look at the zigzag area here, it's very hard to distinguish and determine what really it is, or the exact up and down zigzag sawtooth-like shape, and that's pretty much what we get there. And back over here on the left side. So it may be similar to the top, but not exactly the same. It's hard to discern exactly, because the top image is blurry, is what we see there. Now, let's take another symbol right there with what looks like a bird, as he has drawn on the bottom. Now the very fact that the bottom image is at also 400% that he's drawing, you can see that it is also faded and it looks like some of it's disappeared, is also indication how much less a person can see at 400%. Now we continue to draw around the top of the head in the outline that would give the impression here that it's the shape of a bird. And that's what Dr. Petrovich more or less shows. But now, do we see that in the image above? Right there, we draw the question mark because right there in that area we see nothing that's anywhere like the shape of what we see and what we're supposed to be that bird. Now, here on top is the shape that we draw, and then the bottom one where he has it there with the arrow, red arrows pointing to right now, give him credit for that. That's about similar enough to where it could be interpreted as also being about that shape. And then this next one we see here, give him credit for that symbol as well. And that's pretty much the way it may appear, even though it's hard to kind of distinguish above. Give Dr. Petrovich that credit for that symbol, letter. All right, now this one here, we'll give Dr. Petrovich also credit for that. And that's pretty much the way that may look if a person tries hard to study it and spends time looking at it. Okay, so that one there would be okay as well. Now, the next one below, we have to put a question mark there because that's hard to discern what it is and saying that. However, next what we want to show is that the image in the top upper left corner could be a pictograph of a man's face, as we will draw that and show how that could be so. Right there would be the top of the head and the hair, there would be the ear. We follow the faded outline around there. You could also see that could possibly be a beard. And the nose there, right there, and the mouth as well. We'll be learning about this face more in part number 7, but next we go to part number 6. You may be able to learn more about this in the book by me, Ronald Stewart, entitled Before the World's Oldest Alphabet. Hebrew Memories at Mount Sinai. Introduction by Philip Clark. Thank you for watching.